Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Football Show and the Contender with a K app, which you can download and listen to commercial-free sports 24/7, especially from the cities of Washington, D.C., where the Washington Football Club is kicking some ass, and unfortunately, Chicago. But what are you going to do? Hello and welcome to the show. It's been a wonderful week of December in between Thanksgiving and Christmas time, the holiday season, as we like to call it. And we have a terrific show planned for you today. Coming up shortly will be the legendary Mark Cohen, who is the house MC at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas. The Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas is open 7 days a week, and the Comedy Cellar here in New York City, the beautiful, amazing, best comedy club in the country, Comedy Cellar, is open every day also, with like 3 or 4 rooms and lots of your favorite comics and a lot of drop-bys. So always stop by the Comedy Cellar when in New York City or Las Vegas. And after that, we're going to make our football picks like usual, because that really is my favorite thing to do in life, I think, besides going to get wings on Monday nights and watch football, with our good friend Tom Cotter. Tom Cotter, who was on America's Got Talent and lost to a dog act. And that is awesome. And thank God he owns it, so we can talk about it, which is the most fun to do. Well, greetings, everybody. Let's just talk about very quickly this week in football. The Saints lose 5 games straight for the first time in the Sean Payton era, and the Miami Dolphins win 5 games straight, the last one over the New York pathetic Giants. And speaking of which, I'm just going to read you, after the loss, the New York Giants coach, I'm going to put on my glasses for this, Joe Judge, said, "There was a lot of things that I saw in the way we played, a lot of things that are moving in the right direction." Well, that guy is an idiot. And there's really just no other reason. If you lose and you just really kind of stink, and then you say you see things going in the right direction, you're a moron. That's what I expect something in the Jets in camp to say, except I like the Jets coach, and he's pretty cool. So I don't think he'd be stupid enough to say, "Hey, I think I see it's going in the right direction. It's going to be all right. Hey, we're going to be okay. Sure, we just lost 20-9, which means we pretty much didn't score any touchdowns, but we're going to be all right." And now they don't even have their quarterback anymore, who ain't that great, this Daniel Jones, because he's injured, which maybe it is better. Who knows? And now the funny thing is everybody's saying, maybe we'll have a Mike White moment. I mean, that guy, anyway, that's a whole long story. The Lions win their first game, and the Jets, of course, lose again to the Eagles, but it's not like we didn't see that coming, so that's okay. Meaning, of course, that when the Jets are losing, although I think I was away this Sunday, but I made up for it by watching the Christmas in Tahoe on the Hallmark Christmas channel. It's the one with Pat Moynihan, because apparently the Train, if you know the musical group, has an album called Christmas in Tahoe, and they made a Hallmark movie about it with this awful, awful person named Laura Osnes, if that's how you pronounce her name. This is that character that was playing Cinderella on Broadway and wouldn't get vaccinated, so she loses out. She chose not to get vaccinated and not work again, and that's why she's not in the Disney princess thing. She's not making money. She chose not to get vaccinated and doesn't work, but this Christmas, I mean, she's very pretty. That all being said, kind of weird to want to lose out on work for that, but whatever. So the Broadway community hates her, but that's all right. She's doing the Hallmark Christmas movies, and isn't that terrific? And you know who was in that one also? George Lopez. That's hilarious. I haven't watched the ending of it, but I'll keep you posted. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Also, let us give a shout out that it is Pearl Harbor Day, let alone Aunt Judy's birthday. Everybody knows that Aunt Judy's birthday is the same day as Pearl Harbor Day. Now, a lot of people don't remember Pearl Harbor Day because it doesn't have a 9/11 to it, but it was a pretty goddamn bad day, right? I mean, I wasn't alive for it, but let's just assume it was. Well, the problem is that Disney made a movie called Pearl Harbor with that idiot Ben Affleck. Really, the idiot Ben Affleck. And, whatever. They're playing on AMC tonight. And I consider that a complete disrespect to American know-how and independence. See, Again, we have problems with AMC anyway because they call themselves America Movie Classics, and all they do is edit these so-called classics, what they call. And since when did Pearl Harbor become a classic? It's not, because what Disney did, and they should be put on record if we're doing this, and the cancel culture, what they decided to do. You ready for this? Is they felt the movie was too hostile to our Japanese friends. I guess they're not understanding how it worked back then. We can't forgive the Japanese for bombing America. That's just the way it happened. So they decided to concentrate on the romance instead of making the Japanese feel bad. Well, isn't that delightful? You got to be goddamn kidding me. That would be like making Schindler's List a love story instead of what actually really happened. You're just like, well, we feel bad for the Germans. Oh my God, what a goddamn mess. The nerve of you playing that movie, which disrespects any person that fought in that war or their families that suffered losses in that day. The serious moment here on the Comedy Cellar Football Show. Let's move on. This Wednesday, our good friend Mike and I got to work together for the first time, which was very exciting. And then on Friday night, I opened for Jeff Ross at another place, which was really fun. And my niece, who's going to dental school right now, she came with her roommate, who was nothing but delightful. I didn't expect anything else. But her roommate, so every year during Hanukkah, my brother-in-law makes potato latkes, for our family. And I always invite somebody I'm dating, and I say I'm going to eat their age in potato latkes as a show of respect. And because that's what turns the ladies on. Men that can eat, because it reminds them of their fathers, you see. And if you don't think that's true, now my nieces were like, Uncle David, that does not turn on a girl. And I'm like, I beg to differ. And then I use the example of the movie Never Been Kissed. And that gets, they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, do we not remember what's David Arquette? When, of course, you couldn't make this movie today because he's penetrating the high school as a student when he's already like 24, 25, and then he starts dating a 15-year-old. Yes, can't make that movie anymore. But what did he do? She goes, you can't just go into high school and be popular. And what do they cut to? Him eating a tub of coleslaw, and everybody's screaming out, new guy, new guy, new guy. And then he dates like the hottest girl in school after that, even though she's 15. So it's a little weird. And it was weird when I was watching it back then, but I let it go. And I'm like, I guess if everybody else is okay with this, whatever. But what the point is, when you can eat like that, girls are impressed. So I remember I was dating this girl who was 26. I said, I'm going to eat her age in potato latkes. She said she wasn't impressed. She was impressed. She told everybody. Meanwhile, Dory's roommate was 26. And I said, so she's apparently after dental school going into the Air Force. So I said, as a respect, I'm going to eat your age in potato latkes. But I'm a much older man now, and it's a lot more difficult to do. So I think in my heyday, I might have made it to 40. It's starchy, and potatoes, if you know what potato latkes are, they're tough. But also, my brother-in-law is a really good cook, as you saw with the 5 stuffings. So it was difficult because he makes other stuff, which I hate. I just want to go with the potato latkes. But he made some meatballs, and he, made some salmon. And I'm like, crap, I want to have that too. It's all delicious. So I got stuck at 20. I ate 20. Couldn't make it. But the plan was, and I told my niece's roommate, I said, what I'm going to do is eat your age of potato latkes. And when I have to go to the hospital, because I'm sorry, I was just looking at the chat room and I couldn't believe that everybody's there. What I'm going to do when I'm in the ambulance going into the hospital on the stretcher because my arteries are clogging, I'm going to call her over and then whisper in her ear, thank you for your service. Thank you very much, folks. I'm here all week. Yes, a spread of a millimeter. Nobody's ever here early. Thank you for wishing my aunt a happy birthday. Oh, God, you came on Friday, Tom? Oh, that's very nice. That's great. You saw the show with Jeff. Nobody believes me that I did okay, so I appreciate that. Oh, it's nice to see everybody here already. This is wonderful. Oh, thank you, Liz. That's very kind. I know I'm just reading the chat room things because I usually nobody shows up till 7:00. So this is very nice knowing people are listening. It's like when you do a show in your apartment and nobody's around, you're like, Well, I'll just keep talking and just assume that the people live. It's just like doing the Gaffigan show over the summer when everybody's in their cars, and you're like, well, I guess it'll work out. Before we bring in Mark Olga, I got to tell you one other thing about yesterday. I was at the wings place yesterday. This place in Manhattan. If you ever come to town, Scruffy Duffy's. They got the best wings. I've interviewed the owner on my podcast. You can find it on the Night Fly podcast. He invented the sauce. It's really good. It's old school buffalo wings. They serve it in the wooden bowl. They do it up just right. I love going there on Mondays, watching football. It's fantastic. I love the bartender. I invited a lot of friends, Olga including it. My friend Chris Murphy was there. So Olga comes, and they have a wheel. You can spin the wheel, and if you spin the wheel and it lands on whatever number it is, and something happens in the football game, you get a free shot. Now, the free shot is not whatever you want, but they just tell you it's a green tea shot. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it has peach schnapps in it, and I don't know how powerful it is, but it was kind of delicious. Anyway, Olga spins the wheel, and it was like 8, and it turned out that the thing was a touchdown from 50-yard line. It has to be how do you word it? From scrimmage, you have to run 50 yards for a touchdown. And everybody's like, oh, that's never going to happen. So the guy spun it again, and he just put it on the dog, which means everybody gets a shot, and the whole bar got shots, and it was great. But what happened was during the game, if you saw it last night, the Pats against the Bills, the Patriots scored a 64-yard touchdown from scrimmage. So Olga she was almost in tears. She hooked up the whole bar with shots, and it was fantastic. And she was so happy. And so that she won. She's like, I never win anything. And then he's just like, and for Olga, who was on our show 3 weeks ago or so, if you remember, I'm sorry, I didn't remember. Her name is Olga Namer. She's a really terrific comic. I'm just saying it like you know her. But yeah, she was on our show 3 weeks ago, and it was so adorable. She was so excited to hook up the whole bar with drinks. It was really funny. So a good time was had by all. I have so many other things to tell you. There's plenty to do, but I guess really quickly, I'll just tell you that as you know, we have I got like 45 seconds, so now I'm in this like kind of area where I'm not exactly sure what to do before we take the break. But either way, very excited about what's coming up. Mark Cohen is like one of my best pals. I've known him for over 30 years. He's one of the first people I met. He's such a living legend at the Comedy Cellar. And this guy, I'll just tell you really quickly, when we were all first starting out, I mean, he was the guy, and he had a house on 21st Street and First Avenue, and we would all go over there and party afterwards. And it was terrific. And he was so funny. And he would play the guitar, and it was just the best time. Mark Cohen is coming up in a couple of minutes. And then after that, Tom Cotter, again, we will tell the story. He doesn't mind telling it. When he's on AGT, he went down to the finals. It was between him and Alante Dogs. And I will show you the dog that after he performed, I'm like, I'm voting for Tom. Tom's going to win. He's going to win. The dog act went next. The dog comes out in a car, and I'm like, this contest is over. I forgot Tom was on it because the dogs, you're just not going to beat him. You're not going to beat him. There's nothing he can do, but he's the best guy, and he's going to come up at the 7:00 hour. We're going to make the picks, and he loves football. So that's right. Ain't no party like a Cohen party. Anyway, we'll see you in 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
All right, chatting now with Doug Nice here on The Contender. It's contending football. You've got Gruden getting fired, the awful tragedy with Henry Ruggs, and, he was allegedly drunk driving and all this kind of stuff. So what do you think about the state of the Raiders right now?
I mean, I think it's kind of par for the course. That's what this franchise has dealt with, issues its whole history as a franchise. It doesn't really change too much. And, unfortunate things have happened. But, as a fan of this franchise, and I think this franchise in general, you roll with the punches and move on with what's going on. And we've seen it in the past with certain players. We've seen it in the past with owners, Al Davis being one. And, we just got to roll with the punches, and we're still here. I think that's the thing. We're still here. We're still fighting. We're still clawing.
Contending football. Pre-game, every NFL Sunday, on The Contender.
Is there a sense that this is kind of the start of like a good era here for Washington football? Mike Cerrone of the DC Crossover.
The biggest thing I'm looking at is all of DC has changed their culture. Ernie Grunfeld's out for the Washington Wizards. Now all of a sudden they're propelling to change their whole entire culture, and they're looking pretty good early on in the season. And you have the Caps keeping their culture going. Now they're instilling some young guys in the lineup who are scoring left and right now. I just think that the Washington football team is the team that leads that charge, that team that actually leads the fan bases in all of DC, because you see, I mean, not with the fans nowadays because FedEx Field is a dump, but at the same time, you're looking at this team and the change of culture and trying to instill, old school football like Ron Rivera used to play back in the day, and his culture changed, which he changed the culture in Carolina. And just seeing this new renewed outlook on this team.
Joe of Defeating the Curse.
I want to be as hopeful as Mike is, but I am not, because I think making the playoffs 2 years in a row would be a great start. And I think that's where most fans, at least, I mean, I'm a lifelong fan. Most of us in DC, grew up watching this team. Ironically, now for most of my life, the team has been bad as opposed to good. And most of the players that are on the team right now associate the Washington football team, or formerly the Redskins, as a not good team, which is, like someone like Chase Young was drafted to Washington. He's going to say all the right things, but for his entire life, the Washington football team has not been a competitive team. So I think changing the culture, I mean, it all comes down to winning. And it's an old adage, but I think it's true. Making the playoffs 2 years in a row would work. I mean, it would literally be like a miracle.
James Flippin talking football.
Contending football every Sunday.
It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. I am very much enjoying everybody's chat room. It's very exciting. Yeah, no, I don't think they did tape my performance. So again, we'll just have to leave it to the people that were there at the other night on Friday, because again, I have to now get out of comedy, because what I do is for years just I have a good show, and then I choose not to run, and that way I leave the legacy. And that's how it's going to work. So, anywho, let me bring in my guest this evening. He has appeared on Friends and Curb Your Enthusiasm, and is the reason the Comedy Cellar exists in the first place. You can see him almost every night at his residency gig at the Comedy Cellar Las Vegas, the Rio Hotel. Please welcome the legend. That is Mr. Mark Cohen, everybody.
Why, thank you, Steve. You've always been a good friend of mine.
No, David.
Oh, David, I'm sorry. Hey, by the way, I was at the show Friday night. It was a little rough.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I was with Jeff Ross, your pal.
I heard. No, I've been listening to the show. Yeah, I'm sure you did well. Where are you at the? You can't say where it is, but
no, I could say it was Caroline's. It's
shut up. Oh, Jesus.
What are you gonna do? It can't be that. I'm trying to make it everywhere. It doesn't matter.
You could have said it rhymes with Farallines.
Yeah, it rhymes with Radio Snack. It's a place I pick up batteries. There was a comic who used to do that gig. I know.
That's your newest reference.
Yeah, I know.
I was updating one of my jokes, and I said to the audience, I'm going to say something for the old people and something for the new people. And the new part of the joke was Led Zeppelin. And I was completely serious.
Oh, I know you were serious. Nothing. No, sorry. You look so good. I love your hair like that.
Yeah. I'm not getting every time I get a laugh, I get a haircut. So it's been a pre-COVID.
Well, you still got it. You sound good, and I love your apartment. So
it's a house, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, your house. Yes, of course. Mark Cohen being it. What do you? Ew. Was that tomato juice?
It's hot chocolate.
Oh, why in a tub?
So I could. Oh. So I could shake it.
Oh, that sounds pretty good, actually. I mean, what's Christmas like in Las Vegas? I've never been there for that.
Happy Hanukkah. I think I don't remember. People are in a good mood, actually, pretty much. But everyone's given the same gift this year as masks.
Well, you're an East Coast guy, so is it still freak you out? I know you've lived there for a long time, but I mean that's not cold, it's not snow. Do you still feel like you're missing out?
It's crazy. Like, you're an East Coast guy too. When you were a kid, you would go swimming when it was like 70, right?
Yeah.
When it's 70 here, I stand in a corner shivering.
Oh, that's so funny.
And it's crazy. Sometimes, like, I'll go swimming. I have a pool, and it's 110 outside, and I'll get out of the pool, and it'll be cold. I'm like, how can it be cold? It's 110.
I know. I'm always fascinated by Vegas and LA, and I always tell people, like, when they're in New York and they're like, it's hot, and I'm like, it's not hot. Anytime you can go into the shade and be cool, that's not hot. Because you remember New York summers. Sometimes you can't get anywhere to get cool.
It's the summers and the winters were the extremes in New York. I mean, when you're walking down the streets in New York in the winter, it's freezing, and in the summer, it's disgusting.
It was freezing yesterday. I went skeet shooting yesterday. I was.
How's skeet doing?
No, Mark. No, this is a thing. No, I got a picture. Actually, we could probably show it now. Mike, are you around? You want to show that picture of me holding the shotgun? He might not be around. There it is. See?
Oh my God!
I'm about to whack somebody.
You look like Liza Minnelli's husband.
I do. Oh no, I do. Yeah, that's me at the rifle. We was I don't know where we were, somewhere upstate New York.
Wait a minute, isn't that the Capitol?
No, you got it all wrong again. All right, take that off. I look really fat in that picture.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
I know. I never done that before. It was really fun. Where did you do that? Somewhere upstate. This guy said, "Meet me at Hoboken. I'll drive you upstate, and we'll go hunting." Whatever. But not. We didn't hit any animals or anything. Although there was a turkey, not in the place, and I'm like, that's the stupidest turkey in the history of turkeys. He's just hanging around where the shotgun area.
What kind of gun is it?
They told me. I think it was a 12 gauge, or was it a?
Really?
It was either 12 or 20. I don't know about that stuff, but
it's a shotgun though.
Yeah. You put in the casings. You load two of them in. David Melly. you load the things in, and then it's a blast, and it sends you back. My shoulder was hurting. By the end, did 100 rounds.
Really?
Yeah, you go around in a golf cart, and they just have all these electric things that you go pull, and then they shoot out, and you try and hit it in the air. It's really fun.
Crazy, man.
So I actually felt like a man.
Oh, but why was your gun pink?
No, well, that's the thing. It actually did have a little bit of red on it where the other guys did it, and then they're like, "Oh, you have the." Well, when we got there, the guy I was like, "Oh, I've shot before when I was in camp," and he goes, "That's nice, miss." The guy that ran the club. Okay.
It's weird. I think they have. I thought it was the other day. They have indoor skydiving, which is weird to me. I wonder if they have indoor skeet shooting. Or
wait, they have indoor skydiving? How can that be?
You never seen that?
I feel like I've heard of it, but no.
It's like
I bet they have it in Vegas, don't they?
In Vegas, it's like an upside down airplane engine, and you're in the tube, and you wear the suit, and the engine keeps you up in the air.
Oh,
yeah,
that sounds like fun. Actually,
that
sounds safe. It sounds safer than actually.
I'll bet you me and you could get hurt.
Right, exactly. But, I believe that too.
It's probably safer than jump. I have no desire to jump out of an airplane, though, a real airplane.
Me neither. I'll never understand.
I don't even understand the fascination with it.
I'll never understand either. I get afraid. I'm afraid on a ride at Disney World. Sometimes I got scared on this new Snow White ride, and I was with my niece, and I was just doing Martin Short imitations to make me feel better, where he's playing David Steinberg, and and my niece knows about it. I'm like, but John, why don't you like me? And then we were because it was I'm such a
How
wuss.
old
It's
you?
awful.
People picture your niece being like 6, but I'm sure she's not.
No, she's in dental school now. I was just yeah, it's really embarrassing. She's like, yeah, my uncle's afraid of the Snow White roller coaster at Disney World. It's very embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, and they have the at the Rio. They have the that the ride, the thing that what's it called? When you hang from the thing,
I don't know.
a zip line.
Oh, I think I can do that though.
Again, I mean, why?
I don't know that at the place where I have wings, they have a bar you can hang from, and if you can hang for 2 minutes, I think you win bragging rights, but you might win a shot or a shirt, maybe.
If I had wings, I wouldn't be afraid to fly up in the.
No. I'm talking about Buffalo. The look to the side is the best. But yeah, you can hang from this bar, but I've never been able to go to. It's odd because you think you could do it.
No,
but,
it's hard to hang.
20 seconds is my limit. I couldn't possibly make
That's a little embarrassing, but it is hard to do.
Yeah, no, it's really hard, and yeah, I always keep trying, and then you feel if you have enough to drink, it's going to work out. But
I want to catch that audio clip and use it for my phone ring now. You going? It's really hard. Every time I get a phone call.
Oh, the president is calling me.
I'll hear it once a week.
Yes, I'm sure he would like that. All right, wait. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to do. I know when you don't know that much about football, but
I played in high school. I was a shortstop.
No, Mark. That's a different sport entirely. Yeah. So I mean, I like the people that don't know that much to make 5 picks because they usually win. And it's the funny thing, all of us who think we know about stuff, we know nothing. So let's do this. Mike, can you see?
Me or Mike?
No, you. Well, you. Yeah.
I can see a little bit. I mean, I can see, yes.
You can see it, right? Yeah. Okay, it's up. I just want to make sure. Okay, right. I'm sharing my screen. All right. The first game we have is the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Football Club. They changed their name.
Oh.
And it's
they were the Washington
Redskins.
Oh.
Can you even say it anymore? Anyway, Dallas is favored by 4 points, but that doesn't matter. Who do you think is going to win that game?
So I'm including the spread.
Yes.
Let's go with Dallas, I guess.
I think it's the right move. And here I picked the Las Vegas Raiders. At the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by a lot. What do you think, Mark? What do you hear about the Las Vegas Raiders over there?
They're demoralized.
Have you been to the stadium yet?
No, but I drive by it every night.
Right. I'm dying to go.
It's a new state. It's supposed to be pretty. I'm surprised it has a roof, though.
Oh, you have to, though. It's too hot in Vegas for that.
Well, I figured in Vegas it would be topless.
Oh, whoa! Hey-oh, damn it! That was good.
Don't they have them that can open and close, though?
Yeah, they do, but I think it's always that hot in Vegas where they're like, screw it.
Oh, really? In the winter? No, it's like beautiful. It's like 60 degrees.
I don't know. Most of the stadiums do have, when they're there, they have a retractable roof. But it also, you have to figure it out way in advance because it takes like an hour to open the roof or something. But what do you like here?
I go with Trump.
No. It's.
I'll have to go with the Raiders.
You're doing the right thing for your people, and then because you lived in New York for a while, put in the Giants against the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, I've lived in both.
Now what are you going to do? Right.
Both. I've never even heard that was a team, the Chargers. Is that a new name too?
They moved cities.
Oh.
They moved to Los Angeles last year.
Wow. I've lived in both. Now, and New York, the Giants, is that what it is?
Yes.
Everyone hates them, right?
Well, they do this year, but mostly.
Or is it the
like
Giants? Why do people seem to hate the Jets and the Giants all the time? Because it's
No,
New
no,
York?
people love the Giants. They hate the Jets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with the Giants then.
All right, you're taking the points. I like it. And here's the Super Bowl champs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Buffalo Bills, who lost to the Patriots last night. Your
Now
thoughts?
you can't say Buccaneers anymore, can you?
No, you can't. That's another one they're going to change.
And that's also a great price for corn. Hello. Wait, how come? So the Bills played last night, and they're going to play
Again Sunday. Yes,
Sunday.
they have a short week.
Oh,
as they
today
call
is
it.
Tuesday. I thought today was like Friday. All right, I have to go with the. I have to go with the other. Not the. What's the other team? Not the Bills.
The Super Bowl champs, Tom Brady.
Let's go with the Bills then.
Oh, interesting.
We used to share women. We're from the same.
Right, of course. And then finally, Monday night, the Arizona Cardinals against the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh,
Another one of your old cities.
I know. I guess I'll have to go with the Rams.
All right.
Now, would you have picked any of these?
No, I think I'm picking the exact opposite of everything. But
Perfect.
that's the beauty. You're probably going to go 5-0 and just embarrass me.
Of course. Manish
That's the way it
Or
Why
because
is
of
this night
football.
different than all other nights? Very
Because
nice.
of football, Manish Tanahalayalazedo.
Did you say Lyle Alzado?
I did. That's the only two names I remember. Lyle Alzado and Carl Yastrzemski.
Carl Yastrzemski. Right.
Yeah.
What's by the way, what is your daughter up to? Is she
She's about 5'8".
auditioning? No, she is tall.
She is she's going to college in Seattle, which is a pretty cool city. Did you ever spend any time in Seattle?
I have never been in Seattle.
It's kind of nice. I mean, you'll be there. A lot of homeless.
Yeah. How did you know? People told you already? Think you're bad? Anything goes. In the chat room is saying I'm being canceled because I used the word Redskins.
Because you said it even?
I apparently not.
Dave is now canceled.
See?
How come I'm seeing it now? I never saw it before.
Marcy, well, because Mike is putting it up, but Marcy Coomer, who is one of our favorite people in the chat room, is saying Mark was the mattress king.
I
She
was.
knows.
And still am.
That's right. Yes, now and forever.
I'm trying to submit a spinoff to them.
That should have happened.
Should have happened.
Yes. Well, all right. So I'm going to share the screen one more time. I got some photos I'd like to share with you today.
I choose the White Sox.
You got it all backwards again. All right, Mike, I have it up. We just some slides that we can comment and have some laughs. Yeah, because you can see here the Pope meeting all these visiting nuns at the Vatican. Now, do you think these nuns are so into the Pope that they're just going to leave? They're like, the Pope is so hot. I don't know if I can take my vows anymore. I must have him. This is who they got hot for.
How tall is the Pope? Is he like 3 feet or something? Or is he in a trench?
I don't know. That's a good question. They all do look much taller.
And why is he wearing a yarmulke? What the heck?
I've often wondered that myself.
Oh, here's something you'll get a kick out of. So stop for a second. Riley and I, my daughter is in Seattle, and we went to see Jesus Christ Superstar, the touring company. Do you know what I'm going to go with this?
No.
It was great, by the way. And so I left town, but the next day my daughter goes back and sees it again. The next day I read in the paper the guy who's playing Judas was arrested for being an oath keeper and storming the Capitol.
Oh, right. I guess I thought that was the Jesus Christ Superstar that they did on live TV a couple years ago. I didn't know he was part of the touring company.
No, he was.
Oh,
I
totally heard that. Yeah.
He was great too.
Isn't that hilarious? All the people that did it. Anything goes says the Pope is 6'5", 220 pounds. No. He said he's kneeling to be polite for the dames. That's funny. All right. This looks. This actually happened. This was in Istanbul with Strong Wings Tuesday. Sunk this boat, and the guy. I mean, you think New Yorkers don't notice things going on? It's
He's just ignoring it.
It kind of looks like you. That's why I chose it.
Oh, I didn't come here to be insulted.
So this is the what do you call it? The casket of Josephine Baker.
Oh.
And they're putting her in there, or they're not. I don't know what they're doing. They're putting her in the Pantheon in Paris, but she's not in there. They're keeping her body somewhere else. But for some reason, they're putting handfuls of dirt from 4 important locations in her life, which is St. Louis, Paris, and the south of France. And I don't know what the 4th one is. But all I keep thinking, if they were to do that for me, it would be from Perth Amboy, New Jersey, right? Newark. Manhattan would be the exciting one, and maybe Orlando.
I did warm up for this. You can't see me, but I'm in the back there.
No, I didn't. I had no idea. That's funny.
Yep.
This is the what do they call him? The second man, Kamala Harris's husband.
Which one is he?
He's the one lighting the menorah. Isn't it
Doug
Emhoff? Doug Emhoff. He does look like Chuck Schumer. So, but look at, we talked about this last week. It's like, it's so horrible for us. It doesn't help us. This is so dull. And this is how they light the Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center, pomp and circumstance, pentatonics, lots of people hanging out. And again, when we're on the spotlight, maybe being on TV in DC, it's just a couple of old men whose beards catch on fire, which would have been the excitement of it. It's just awful. We're never gonna make it.
Jesus.
Here's Angela Merkel giving the Heil sign after stepping down, the German chancellor, after stepping down after 16 years in office, giving the Heil Hitler sign.
No, she's auditioning to be the next Spider-Man.
Oh. Well, I just like this because those Germans will always keep it up, because look at this guy. They're skiing and he's trying to take this guy down. They're very, it's all they just don't have any what do you call it? Any class, because
what is this picture?
It's a German skier who's falling, but he's trying to take down the Austrian skier too, because he's falling. They're very, even after things are done, they really try and still give it, stick it to you, just like in the pilot of Wonder Woman, where Lyle Wagner was shot down in a plane fighting a Nazi pilot, which played, by the way, with Kenneth Mars, who played the Nazi in The Producers. And I'll never forget this. When I saw this, the pilot for Wonder Woman, the TV show, they're both falling. Lionel Wagner gives him the thumbs up, like, hey, look at the two of us. We're just humans, right? And the Nazi soldier takes out a gun and tries to shoot him while he's parachuting down. They just don't stop.
Oh, boy.
But look at
this.
Wait
a minute. Say that guy's name again.
Kenneth
Wagner.
Mars?
No,
Wagner.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Lionel.
No, Lyle Wagner. But this is from the Wonder Woman pilot. It's Kenneth Mars and Henry Gibson, who also played a Nazi in the Blues Brothers. These two guys can't get any other work.
Right. And they're both Jews.
Is that true?
No.
Oh, like
I don't know. They could be both Jewish, actually.
And this is Wonder Woman taking a injured Lyle Wagner on her private jet because he lands in the Amazon jungle, which is hilarious because you didn't know the private jet was equipped with a passenger area where you could fly like a MASH copter. And this is the best. I don't know whether you knew about this. This is in the pilot. Cloris Leachman played her mother.
Oh, wow.
Had no idea.
What's the circle of gold on her?
That's her magic lasso. Lasso. Why did I say lasso? Oh. I've had too much to drink.
That's your Ted lasso.
Right. Thank you, Aaron. Just when I thought David hadn't brought up an obscure TV reference, I'm all in. This is what I do. And it was the Thailand Monkey Festival last week.
Wow.
I wish I was kidding, but apparently in Thailand, they have a monkey festival where tourists come to watch the monkeys eat at a buffet. and they go to town and just eat everybody's food.
Jesus, that guy's got a monkey on his back.
did. But then,
Thank you.
but then you're like, well, why are they putting a Coke there? They're not going to be able to. But no,
He's sitting on the apples.
yep.
Yep.
This is the Santa School in London. This was on Tuesday in the Ministry of Fun. I thought it was a seasonal thing. I wish I was kidding. It's an actual Santa school, which is very odd.
Wow.
This Mark, this is the new TWA hotel at JFK Airport.
No way.
I swear to God.
It's right on the tarmac.
Isn't that the fun? Wouldn't that be like the worst? Like, I can't get any sleep.
Cut those engines.
It's like bad and good at the same time. It's
I
like,
think it would be kind of cool. I wonder if it must be soundproof, right?
how can you be soundproof when you're right? I mean, maybe, I guess. Marcy says that Cloris Leachman was, what did you say? She was the grandmother in Bad Santa? Is that true, Cloris Leachman? I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Here's how hilarious Mark is. This is one of his tweets. I forced myself to write a joke before I go to sleep. I haven't slept in close to 20 years. See?
I think I opened with the version of that about my hair today, didn't I?
Yes, but that's why I was so excited.
And I try to write a joke a night, so I'm moving to Alaska.
I love your tweets. This is one. Does everyone's mask smell like weed and Milk Duds, or is that just me? So I'm like, well, that's pretty funny, which is weird because I just ate Milk Duds, so I thought it was pretty funny. But then, a day later, he tops it. Is it just me, or does everybody's mask smell like weed and vomit?
Oh no, I did not. I'm ripping off myself. The other one, the next one I put up, I reversed the order.
What is it?
That's vomit and weed on the next one.
You just gave up. You didn't. I'm sorry. I think it's funny. Here is Mark and Jeff and our friend George.
George.
I love that picture because I love George.
Yeah,
like,
I made that hat too for Jeff.
You did? Oh, that's right. Mark crochets. As odd as that sounds, he crochets and he really does it. I
crocheted my mustache too, actually.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I don't know. How did you get into that?
When I was doing that Rat Pack show, I was just sitting in the hotel room and made a hat. I bought one of those things where you just wrap the
That's
stuff
when
around.
when you were doing it. Mark was in Vegas. When he first got there to Vegas, he was doing the Rat Pack. He was playing who was it?
Joey Bishop.
Joey Bishop character.
And it was David Cassidy was the producer. Speaking of old TV shows, yeah.
Wow. I was so upset.
I got to tell you something. I think I love him.
I was so upset I never got to see that show. I remember I came to Vegas once and it was like the one day you weren't in it. Like you took one break.
I like George. Looks like our grandmother.
I know, but he's so sweet.
He's
so
a sweet
nice.
man. Yeah.
And here is Mark on a weekly basis. He has everybody that's performing there all week with our good friend little Danny Natterman, who's always on the show.
Yeah. Angel Gaines.
I don't know them. Who?
Angel Gaines, Quinn Dale, and Michael Yo.
Oh, I know Michael Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Marsha Warfield is in tonight. I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Marsha Warfield, not only was she in Night Court, she was just on, I think it's called Even More Funny Women of a Certain Age on Showtime.
I just saw that, yeah. I just saw Marky Post was trending for some reason, too.
She's dead.
What the fuck? What?
Were you kidding? Or
No. I know she passed away fairly recently, but she was trending today for some reason. I don't know why. Man, I look old.
Marsha Warfield, no, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Marsha Warfield. Wait, what's going on behind you there? What do you got?
My little baby doggy.
Oh, that's a dog?
Yeah.
No, that's a puma.
A puma. That's a Johnny Carson. That's a Johnny Carson pet. That's a puma. Shuma and a puma.
And an all-new Manimal.
Esther Roll. Deepak Chopra.
But wait, what were we just talking about?
How good I look?
Well, actually, anything goes right. David's right. It's amazing how. Oh, I didn't say how old he looks. He looks great. How dare you?
I said how old I look.
Oh, what's your dog's name again?
Millie.
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 But wait, no, I was just talking about something. It was really important. Now I don't
Yeah.
remember what it was. Well, I was asking how you. So wait, when you were doing that show, you learned how to crochet. Like,
Well,
what made you even think of it?
I just, you know how you get these things and you like, they're just like looms or something, and you just make a hat by wrapping stuff around.
That's what I'm saying. No, I do not. Like, how did you even come up with that?
I didn't know. I must have just been bored and stoned and went to Michael's or something.
Oh.
And then I was like, well, if I can do it like this, I must be able to make something else. So I just started doing it.
Thank you, Aaron. Right. It was Marsha Warfield. That's what we were talking about.
Oh,
and
right.
She was in that Women of a Certain Age or whatever, because Wendy Liebman is also in that, who's our friend. And that was the Terry Hatcher one.
Oh, right. I did see that. Yeah.
I'm doing a fundraiser for a school on Thursday using Wendy, because Wendy is great. How come she's never at the Vegas club? I gotta get her out there. I gotta
probably doesn't want to be, I would imagine.
I think she does. I think she needs to be more. People need to realize how great she still is.
Yeah. Well, did she? She must have used to work the Cellar in New York, I'm assuming.
No, she never did. We've spoken about it before. She never did. Yeah. She was never, she moved out to LA like really quickly.
There was a while that everybody, all the comedians, male and female, were doing her,
Doing her, like her kind of material, her bit.
No, having sex with her.
Oh, right. Yes.
No. Yeah, doing her style,
well,
her.
Yeah, the people were doing her style, and Amy Schumer was doing it for a while until she figured it out on her own and kind of. But I remember watching. We talked about this. I was watching Amy Schumer's show, and I'm like, and I'm looking, and nobody remembered Wendy, I guess. But I'm like, but she's doing Wendy's cadence.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wendy kind of called her out on it, and it got to be a little controversial.
They worked it out, though. It was kind of a funny thing to see it happening in the paper.
Yeah.
Because it was like, hey, you stole my stuff, and then the next thing is, we're buddies.
Yeah.
But that's the way. I mean, it doesn't really work like that. I'm sure they talked and everything.
Well, her brother, her husband, his father wrote the song "Spoonful of Sugar" for Mary Poppins.
Oh wow,
and
nice.
Most of the
Amy Schumer's.
No, Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah. Wow.
I don't know.
Speaking of that, Riley saw. My daughter saw West Side Story last night. Actually.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah, I don't know how she saw it early, but she ended up seeing it early.
I never liked that movie. I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Really, that was one of my favorite movies growing up when I was a kid.
I think I have a problem with Puerto Rican people. I just no.
Yeah, but in that movie they're white. So you
I know. Well, except for Rita Moreno. But no, I don't know why I don't like it. It's not. I was kidding about that.
Well, then you would probably like the new one. I mean, because I think that's one of the things is that it's cast correct.
Maybe it was just a little too slow. Those kind of movie musicals in the '60s, I didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I mean, they had the 10-minute overture with nothing happening.
Yeah,
and now they have that Omicron is in America. Omicron is it's a big number.
As Rachel Feinstein's been calling it all week, she's like, "Well, when the Comic-Con virus gets here, we're all in big trouble."
It sounds like every. I love it. It sounds like I forgot what I was saying. I read somebody's quote and I forgot.
Oh,
Omicron. It sounds like every Phil Collins. Sounds like every Phil Collins song. Omicron.
Oh, and speaking of which, Phil Collins' daughter, who I like in that show, Emily in Paris, just cut her hair, and I'm very upset about it. I don't like when people do. There's a thing in the paper today about Hugh Hefner's, I guess, ex-wife, Holly Madison, and she cut her hair, and Hugh Hefner hit the fan. He was furious, but I totally get that. I know it's wrong, but I can't stand when women chop it off. I love beautiful long hair. I guess because I can't grow it.
Like somebody cuts it off and you're like, oh my God, what a beautiful face. And fits perfect.
No, I get very upset. In fact, everybody knows I love the Big Bang Theory. So when Penny cut her hair, I was furious. And it ruins the show for me. I know it's horrible. I know, I get it. It's very sexist, but I'm sorry. I love long hair. I like it on men. I mean, yesterday when we went, I know that's why I like your hair the way it is now. Yesterday when we were going shooting, I was with my friend, and he has this beautiful white flowing hair, and I'm like, your hair looks amazing.
You're gorgeous.
I don't like when they cut it. I don't know. The only person I used to like with short hair was Josie Bissett on Melrose Place.
What about Lauren Toos?
Yeah, exactly. On the Love Boat? No, thanks.
Really?
No. Well, who was the only person that liked her, or that the only person she fell in love with? Do you know the trivia?
No.
Her real and first and only love?
Gopher.
No, Tony Roberts from Annie Hall. Julie, I told you to call before you come here.
That was your closer for like 10 years, wasn't it?
I think you got that right. I wish you were kidding.
No. It's amazing what people don't know anymore. Nobody would know who that guy is.
Mark,
And
I had my old Letterman set audition. I showed it on my podcast last week. I had the piece of paper. I showed it mostly because the stuff on it was ridiculous, but at the bottom it had my gambling teams I was betting that day. So it said Ruth Gordon, Charlton Heston. It was all people that nobody would know ever anymore. And I'm just like, and they're like, well, what happened? Someone was like, did you get it? I'm like, well, let me go over the set list again, and you tell me if I got it. They were looking at me back then like, what the hell is he doing? Ruth Gordon.
That's an old reference back then. Charlton Heston.
Yeah, exactly. They were old references back then. But you were there when I used to close with that Charlton Heston.
Oh,
right. Used to kill, right? You can't explain that or that Ernie Douglas one.
Well, you can't even explain who he is, and remember Charlton Heston from blah blah blah. People
But it's funny when I tell people that they can't possibly imagine that I used to get off stage doing that Ernie Douglas and just going, "Why didn't he be so sore?" And then people, I can't follow that. Good night, everybody. You can't explain it to people. Meanwhile, to this day, who's the guy from TV Funhouse? Smigel and Jon Stewart always give me shit about you still doing the Ernie Douglas? You know what, guys? Is this necessary? Don't you feel you've won? Is it necessary?
Well, Quayle's an idiot.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm sorry. You always do it to me. So, well, Mark.
So what do you have? Tom Cotter comes on and he's going to make some picks with you.
Yeah, he's going to we do the full listing of picks.
But he's a football guy, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
I'm from Springfield, Mass. I think I mentioned it last time. Do you know what that's famous for?
No.
Basketball.
Is that true?
That's where the Basketball Hall of Fame is. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
So I grew up. I played basketball. I was a shortstop.
Oh, I see. All right, then we'll have you on in the spring again.
And then I would play the right field too sometimes.
No, again, you're mixing up the genres. You see, Mark. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you are busy. I know you kind of hate doing the internet stuff. So, but thank you so much for taking the time and being an excellent friend as well. So so you will be Mark Cohen at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas most nights, almost every night.
Every night almost,
week, possibly 7. Please, if you're going to Vegas, go to the Comedy Cellar at the Rio. See Mark. Say hello. He's the goddamn best. Thank you, Mark Cohen. Everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Mark Cohen is the best. Again, we've been friends for a long time. Thank you, everybody, for loving Mark as much as I do. He always makes me laugh. He really, really does. It is no joke. Yes, thank you. Anything goes. Okay, we will take a little break, and then we will be back in 5 minutes with Tom Cotter, and we will make the picks. How does that sound for everybody? All right. We will see you in 5. Stay tuned.
There's one chance, because I've seen it work in the NFL a few times, where you get a little bit of a boost one weekend, right? A little bit of a boost. There's one chance the Bears come out and they beat the Green Bay Packers. You fire Matt Nagy right now. Because a lot of times we see players get a little bit of a boost on the other side of that, on the we're finally vindicated. I feel good about this now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're moving in the right direction. Let's play. Let's show that we want to be here. Let's show that we want to be here for the next regime. Let's show that we got what it takes to win this game. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get that little bit of a boost. Maybe then you can beat the Green Bay Packers. Maybe then. But if Matt Nagy can survive a 1-yard game, if he can survive multiple games of barely getting an offense past the 50, if he can survive a game where we actually saw a team play better, and then he comes back from COVID on the other side and we immediately see them play worse, he'll survive scoring 22 points. He'll find a way to spin it into this was a better offensive day for us. I think we did some good things. If Andy doesn't throw 2 interceptions, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. I've heard so much if under this dude, dog. So much if, so much why, so much, it's you.
Pat the Designer and the Windy City Breeze, live every Wednesday night from 5 to 7 and available for download on The Contender.
But if you told me that Ben Roethlisberger was going to be the last one playing, I would have thought you were crazy. Because this is a guy who, in many ways, especially early on in his career, kind of used his mobility and his size and his strength in a way to make plays from outside the pocket, was not necessarily the purest of passers in the sense that, you knew this guy was always dangerous. And he wasn't a rushing quarterback, but he was just somebody who could break the quarterback, stiff arm somebody, break tackles. And there was a lot of, taking hits and keeping on going type thing out of Ben Roethlisberger. So for him to still be playing here in 2021, I think is a testament to his toughness, to his dedication. And obviously he's a Hall of Famer. That goes without saying. But I wanted to just mention that other than 1983, which was when Dan Marino, John Elway, and Jim Kelly came out of college, there's never been a quarterback draft class that even approaches 2003. Because obviously you're talking about Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, and Eli Manning. So I just stop and say, wow, what an impressive trio it was that came out of the first round there. Phillip Rivers, unfortunately, never did get the Super Bowl, but, Roethlisberger and Manning obviously did. And you could argue that in terms of regular season stats and accomplishments, maybe Phillip Rivers was actually the most. I'd have to go back on that. Ben Roethlisberger's obviously had plenty of big years, but tremendous quarterback draft class. One that'll go down in history.
Contending football. Pre-game, every NFL Sunday, on The Contender.
Please welcome back to the program our friend Gilbert Gottfried, everybody. Please welcome back to the program our friend Frank Santopadre. This is the lighting of the big menorah in Washington, D.C., which is hilarious because this guy's, the rabbi's beard caught on fire right after this. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, jeez.
No, I made that up. But I really
see,
it
started to get interesting.
It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender.
Why does football need to be so serious? Not here, it doesn't. It's time for picks.
Washington will control the ball.
Laughs. And an overall good time right in the middle of New York City. It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender.
So, welcome back, everybody. Nice to see everybody. I was just reading some of the chats. Elizabeth, you're so funny. She's like, that Ford, so clumsy. I like that one. And Mark is see? Thank you, Mike. Yeah, Mark is a great guest, and he's amazing. And such a good pal. Oh my goodness. See, Elizabeth, now you're the best. So yes, this show is going swimmingly, I guess. And I don't know. Let's what was I going to say about? Oh yeah, I guess we'll just take a look at the. I was going to show the picture of the gun thing, but we already showed that already. But next week, I think I actually have video of me actually hitting a lot of the skeet shoots, which is a miracle since that was the first time I ever did it. But I had a feeling I was going to be good at it. I think I did it in high school with some friend, and I was always a good shot. I think I would have been a good sniper in the war. That's the way I like to think of it. But and for they did not put me in the army. I was known as 4P, and in case of war, I'm a hostage. Manny Hall. All right. I will say, Mike, you're here now, right?
Yes, sir.
It's nice to see you. It was nice to finally meet you in person last Wednesday.
Oh, great to meet you too.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. We've known each other now for, I don't know, maybe almost 2 years or a year and a half.
Yeah, I was like a Canadian girlfriend.
Yeah. And it was just so weird, but it was so much fun. And then we hung out after and, had a really good time. And thanks for hanging out after too.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me on the show. It was awesome.
Yeah, of course. Yes, we'll do it again too. Maybe I'll get maybe we'll do it at the Comedy Cellar one time. That would be nice. Anyway, why don't we look at what happened last week with the picks, because I am back on track. If you want to show the photo, yes. See, 10-4. I finally figured out the system. But it must have been an easy week since everybody did well. Lou, Mike, and the audience did all 8-6, but I went 10-4. We all got the Cowboys right on Thursday, but it wasn't easy. They really wanted to lose that game. The Dolphins, to me, was a no-brainer. Indianapolis, I wasn't positive about the points, but we all picked them. That worked. They beat I don't think Houston scored a point. Yeah, it was a shutout. It was sick. The Lions won their first game. That was, to me, that was a very easy one. I wouldn't put any money on it because it's the Lions, but the +7 seemed easy. Obviously, I did my thing where I'm always going to pick against the Jets because if they end up winning, then that's delightful. Otherwise, I voted Lions and everybody voted against me. Oh, sorry about that. But yes, the Eagles, again, my system is working flawlessly with the Jets and Eagles. The Cardinals, again, knowing we weren't sure if Kyler Murray was going to be back, but he was, and that made all the difference. I took a break. I was the only one to pick the Chargers. I had a feeling they would bounce back, which questions this weekend with the Bengals. The Bucks, I was nervous about the 10.5 points. They just made it, scored a late field goal at the end to cover the spread for us. The Jaguars was the stupidest bet I made all week because the Rams beat the crap out of them.
I think my Jets was worse. So.
That what was?
My Jets bet was the worst one.
Yeah, you were the only one that picked. Well, listen, I told you what to do on that with the Jets. Just bet against them every week. If they win, good for us, and otherwise they won't. So yeah, just stop taking the Jets. I was angry at taking the Lions because if you're betting on a losing team like the Jaguars, you deserve what you get. I was very sure. I thought the Raiders would win. They did end up losing in a last-second field goal, but Washington, Mike picked that, so you were good on that. That they're playing really tough. It's really confusing. I was the only one that pitched Pittsburgh, and I told you that was an easy one. If there is a spread, what?
You were right.
Oh, man, that was an easy one for me. Every time that game comes down to the wire, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, you always take the plus the points, and it was a no-brainer +4. It's that was easy. San Francisco, we all lost. Seattle was due, I guess, but we couldn't put our money on it, so we all did the right thing. I can't believe Denver was just so horrible. Kansas City wasn't that great either, but you guys were smart. And to me, the Patriots was the easy bet. They're going to win the goddamn Super Bowl. It's really annoying. So thank you for showing that. Let's make that all better this week. But for now, let's bring in our second guest. And it's not in any way is he a second guest, our 7 o'clock guest. How about that? and he's going to make the picks with us. He's an outstanding stand-up comedian who has appeared on The Tonight Show and legendarily on America's Got Talent, and before COVID was asked back to America's Got Talent, The Champion Show. Of course, you only get asked on that if you are a true champion. Why? Because he is the best and a champion. On Friday, January 7th, you can see him live at the Mouch, I don't know how it's pronounced, Mouch Chunk Opera House in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. And on Saturday, July 8th, at the Newtown Theater in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Please welcome for the first time to the program, Tom Cotter, everybody. Hello, Tommy.
I'm the second guest. I'm going to go with headliner. I'm the headliner. I'm the closer.
Oh, yes, that's exactly the way it is. Lord
do that.
Thundercrotch. That looks like an excellent background. You look good.
Yeah, it's Mr. Lord Thundercrotch. Let's do that so you can see. Yeah, there we are. Very nice. So I don't know what team I support, but it's irrelevant. I heard you besmirch my team.
Tom, last week, I believe I put to the audience, or I just said, and I can't even believe it, I think the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. I believe it with all my heart that the way things work is I was all in, like, everybody's in, well, Tom Brady's the man. It's very clear Tom Brady was the brains in that operation. And now Bill Belichick is going to win without Tom Brady, and we're all just going to look stupid, and they're not going to give anybody ever else a chance.
No, we spent like horrors, like let's say Hunter Biden in a crack house. I mean, we spent a lot of money. We had a lot of free agents that we brought in. We have a rookie quarterback. I don't think we'll go all the way, but I'm delighted. We started 1-3, so to be where we are now is pretty impressive.
I know, but it's
I play for the team. I don't, but my team, the team that I support, has won on 8 in a row now, or 7 in a row. 7 in a row.
It's sick. They're playing great, and it's not fair. The Jets have a rookie quarterback too, and it ain't working. And for some reason, you had a lesser draft pick, and he's just kicking so much ass.
Yeah, unbelievable that he fell to us at 15 when he was the most NFL-ready quarterback coming out of Alabama. It's ridiculous. But what is unfair, you mentioned unfair. What is unfair is that we had season tickets when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s for the worst stadium in the world. It was called Sullivan, and before that it was called Schaefer. And it was the worst. Aluminum benches. You would sit out there and freeze your ass off every day, getting hypothermia, watching your team get its ass handed to it week after week after week. And the urinals in the bathroom were the horse troughs.
Oh, God, I remember those. I've been to, I don't know whether I was at that stadium where I saw something in the woods in Boston, wherever. I don't know if it was their stadium. I saw a musical. I might have seen Staley, and those troughs.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I'm a child with nervous kidneys, and my dad buys me the Bladder Buster, 64-ounce soda, and I can't piss the rest of the day because there's some meathead with a Boston accent behind me going, "Come on, I gotta go. Come on." Oh, it was the worst. And then the traffic on the way home, and my dad chain smoked in the car. That's unfair. So I'm allowed to have a team that's decent now towards my twilight years.
Where were you? Were you a season ticket holder in 1985 when they made it to the Super Bowl?
No. We stopped
in 84, of course.
We stopped in 82.
You were the problem.
82. The year I graduated high school, my dad said, that's it. We're not going to. And I said, thank you, Jesus. I'm done with this crap. It was just horrible. Horrible.
It's so messed up. The Patriots were such a joke for so many years. Then they made it to the Super Bowl. Of course, the legendary crushing. It's like you make it to the Super Bowl. This is what happened to the Jets, too. You make it to the Super Bowl, and you're legendarily crushed. Like, people talk about it years from now, the amazing 85 Bears. But
I still hear the Super Bowl shuffle in my head. And, William the Refrigerator Perry weighed, 400 pounds? He scored a touchdown as a running back in that Super Bowl against us.
And the other thing, it's the joke. It's that Jim McMahon is the quarterback, and he's really, 1 year and out. You didn't even lose to a Tom Brady.
He was a great dude, though. I did a golf tournament not too long ago, and he was there, and everybody adores him. All those old NFL guys love him because he's shaved head now, complete rebel. Talks about getting pulled over doing 150 miles an hour in his car. He's a crazy guy. Always was.
Yeah, he was that cool back then.
Oh, he was cool back then, and he's cool now. He had the mullet back then, though.
Yeah. But no, we knew he was like who's that guy that had the perfect game? David Wells.
Oh yeah,
like a guy like that, or Jim. Was it Daly, the golfer?
Jim.
Not Jim.
Yeah, the guy who chain smokes and drinks while he's golfing.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
John Daly, maybe.
John Daly, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, those three guys were just, they don't fit the profile of an athlete in any way.
Legendary. All right, I'm going to show you
greatness.
something. There's your boy David Wells right there. I don't know if you can see that picture. So, can you see that? I'm sorry.
Oh, in the right-hand side.
Look at him.
Oh, he's licking your ear?
Yeah.
That's awesome. One of those things. Looks great.
He does. He's a blast, too. He's out of his mind also. They're all crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you'd think they would grow up, but they're still exactly, they were who they were then, and they're there now. My favorite story, I think I was telling it last week, or maybe I think I was telling it somewhere else. My favorite thing about that David Wells perfect game was where Michael Kay is just using all these analogies to describe the moment of getting the perfect game, but most of the analogies are just how fat David Wells is, and he just keeps going. And it looks like the portly, well-eaten David Wells is going to make history.
Exhaustic, something like that.
It was all these words for that. And it was funny. I also remember, now that I'm thinking about it, I'll just say, remember, who's the guy who used to do baseball who hates the Mets? I think he just died. He was the national correspondent. I can't think of his name. He was, the Fox guy and everything. And I think he just hated Mike Piazza and he hated the Mets. And during that Roger Clemens, Mike Piazza moment, where he was aiming for Mike Piazza, or he hit Mike Piazza after he got a home run, because I hated Roger Clemens as an asshole. And the Mets and the Yankees had played a twilight doubleheader. They played at the Yankee Stadium one day and the Met Stadium one day as like a makeup thing. And that was the day this all thing happened. And this guy was telling everybody that the reason why Mike Piazza got hit was because in between games, it was the later game he got hit, that they eat before the game. And Mike Piazza had all this lasagna and he was too fat to get out of the way. I'll never forget that. I can look up this guy's name, and he's a famous guy, but he clearly hated Mike Piazza and was just saying it's all Mike Piazza's fault that he got hit with the ball.
That might have been roid rage. You don't know with Clemens. Could have been. Or Piazza, for that matter.
No, Piazza was never on the roids. It was never proven.
Right.
When we know Clemens was for sure.
Yeah.
What a tool that guy was. Even in 1986, he's already shaved. He's like, yeah, we're going to do. What an asshole. It makes me angry that he won a championship with the Yankees. I'm sure that makes everybody angry who lives in your neighborhood. I didn't know you were.
Absolutely. When Wade Boggs, that was another one. Jesus, a lot of Benedict Arnolds left us to go to the Yankees.
Johnny Damon.
Another one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's nobody has any allegiance anymore.
No, and Damon said at the end of the season when he became a free agent, he said, I don't know where I'll be, but I certainly won't go to our arch enemy, the Yankees. And then a week later, he signed with the Yankees. Then he blamed it on his wife. He threw his wife and said, my wife wanted to be in the Big Apple. Yeah, way to throw your wife under the bus there, buddy.
That sucks. That must have. I know how that is. It's awful whenever a Met goes to the Yankees, like David Cohen or something, and then pitches a perfect game. Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry. It's soul crushing.
I know. It's very frustrating, but it's free market, and they can go where the biggest check is being written. So I don't blame
them. Let me ask you. We haven't spoken that much. It was nice to see you at the one of the other comedy clubs recently, but. What did you do during COVID? You perform every day, like every week. You're always out, right, and performing.
I'm trying, but during COVID, that was brutal. That was the longest I'd ever stayed at home without an ankle monitoring device. So it was horrible. And as you know, I'm married to Carrie Louise, so I felt like I was in prison without conjugal visits. It was horrible. But yeah, we did a lot of Zoom shows, which were no fun, and but they were. They knocked the rust off and kept us busy. So I'm glad we had them, but I hope those kind of go the way of the dinosaur and we do just live shows from now on because that was tough. But that's all funny. I did. I did a lot of acting. One night, my wife said I was acting like a jackass and writing, a lot of writing, mostly suicide notes because, as you know, I lost to a dog act on national television. But other than that, It was fine. It was a great pandemic. If I'm going to compare it, it's the best pandemic I've ever experienced.
Your favorite wasn't the 1921 pandemic?
No, did not enjoy that one as much. We couldn't binge watch stuff back then.
I was just wondering. I was wondering. I guess I didn't know who was performing or who wasn't. I mean, I know for a while I was the only one performing because everybody told me because that's when we knew the universes had collided. I was opening for Gaffigan and the stuff, and no one else. Like, David Tell was like, "I'm very jealous of you," and I'm like, now we know something is wrong. Something bad has happened. If somebody came from the past and saw what was going on in the future, but the funny thing is, I love Zoom shows. I like this, and
this is fun. I love podcasts. It's a Zoom show though, where you're telling jokes and the audience, you hear dogs barking, you hear babies crying. I literally heard a guy argue with his pizza delivery guy over a tip. And it went on for 5 minutes because, as you know, on Zoom, the loudest microphone takes over the whole conversation. And these guys were screaming at each other. And I'm supposed to be in the middle of my set. And it was just a train wreck, a dumpster fire. And, so that's why I have a bad taste in my mouth from them. But
I understand. Right. I'm doing one with your wife on Thursday for a benefit for a school here in Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
Which you were like, my wife is, what did you call her? You called her, it was the perfect word.
Wanda the Snow Wench? Was it that?
No, she's just, this is what she's really good at. She's
a PTA wet dream. She is, she's a mother of 3 boys, and that's all. She does all these PTA things and all these women's things. And yeah, that's her world.
Meanwhile, I think I met her before I met you. I think about it.
We both moved down here together in 1996. So we both.
Oh, you moved down together? You knew each other from Boston?
Yeah. Yeah. We moved down together, and much to her parents' chagrin, we cohabitated because it was just economically better. And that's and then we were off to the races. And then we had a few breakups along the way, some of them longer than others. But then we finally realized that, it was time to fish or cut bait. And here we are, 21 years of marriage.
Are you guys like college or high school sweethearts?
No, we met it was a workplace romance. We met in the Boston comedy world up there, where she had dated a few comics. Her nickname was Comic Relief. And I say that because she's not on this Zoom, but yeah. And I had promised myself I would never date another waitress or comedian. And then we both violated those oaths.
But it's so hilarious when you hear all the comics we know. And, back in the day when we were, of dating age, when we'd be like, man, I don't want to date any more comics or waitresses. I just want to meet a nurse or a teacher. It's such bullshit. Whoever works. And it's just so fun. We want to meet a nurse. Come on. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, everybody who is who they are, but I didn't know you guys moved down here. I guess I met her in 97. No, maybe 99. I think we did The Odd Couple together at Catch a Rising Star.
Wow. Catch, long gone. Is that the one that was on 28th Street at that point or something?
Yeah.
I remember that incarnation of that club.
Yeah. And I remember I actually just found her flyer for her, she wrote a play that I went to see, and I had a flyer for it. And I remember thinking she was so great because she gave like the funny part to Andrea Rosen.
Yeah, who was the breakout of that show, really.
I just saw her on I think it's called Upload on Amazon or something. She's terrific.
And she's done a million commercials. Yeah, I keep
wife
seeing her.
Was so smart. She gave the comedy part to this girl who's really good at comedy, and your wife just played the hot girl. And I was like, you are a goddamn genius.
And Bernadette Pauly was in it, and that was another hot girl. And then there were other people who came. Laurie Kilmartin was in it for a while. It was great. It was really a great cast, and she was very proud of it. She wrote it. Her dad drove down from Boston to build the set, and it was a bathroom.
Yeah,
so
I remember
he had to build a fake urinal, a fake bathroom stall, a fake everything, condom machine on the wall. He did all that stuff. And
it was called That's what it's called, Bathroom
Confessions.
Bathroom Confessions. That's
about what women talk about in the restroom.
Yep. Yeah, it was really, I'll never forget, because I remember I was so proud of her, because, you see a lot of people's shows and they just suck. And I am a theater snob. And I just thought she did a great job kind of knowing herself not that she's a bad comic or anything, but just like, writing for other people, writing for your friends, knowing their strengths. That's good writing for your first project.
Yeah, and she wrote it, directed it, produced it. As soon as she got to New York, really, shortly thereafter, and she couldn't pay anybody anything, so it was just herding cats, trying to get people to do it, and people loved it. So it was great.
Actors and comics don't care about the money so much. Musicians, you have to pay all the time. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, well, they also get all the women, so they win.
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair at all.
No.
Why don't we make the picks?
Are we making picks? Let's make picks.
We are making picks. Let's do it. It's my favorite thing to do in life, besides, like I said, going for chicken wings on Monday nights and watching football.
Before you do that, let me just, because we were just yapping about her, let me introduce the woman of the moment.
Yeah, I hear you guys talking about me. What's going on?
Hi. I
Look
didn't know
at
you were there.
Look so professional, Dave.
Really? I think
Yeah,
Tom
like a
looks more
mic.
professional because you have that professional background.
What is in your background? Looks like video games.
My background is for children.
Yes.
And I don't have any children. Whereas you
very,
look like
very creepy.
Yeah. Is there candy back there too?
Oh yeah, I always have. No.
You know what I find? I find that if I paint my van to look like an ice cream truck, they actually run to it. It's great.
Oh, that's smart. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it's very
no,
smart.
we were just talking your praises.
Yeah, we were just talking about your one-woman show, Bathroom
hope so.
Confessions. But it wasn't one woman; it was a cast. It was great.
Yeah. It was a.
Right.
All right, we're gonna go do the picks now.
Do the
so
picks.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, you can stay if you want.
Pick the cute ones, honey.
All right, I'm gonna pick the cute ones.
That's the way my Aunt Judy picks. Let's go back. Oh, I lost it, Mike. Sorry. Hold on.
Your Aunt Judy is hot, by the way. Looking hot.
Well, she'll appreciate that. Let me go back. Share screen.
Can you ask her to mail my slippers back, Aunt Judy?
It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Aunt Judy.
Yes, Pearl Harbor Day and Aunt
All right.
Judy.
Well, this is sad, but I'm going to have to put on the readers to get to this.
No, that's okay. I had to do that earlier. I assume you can see everything, right?
Yep, I think I can.
All right. Okay. Here we go. We did really well last week. All of us did really well. Maybe it was an easy week. Maybe things got back to normal after 2 or 3 weeks of very bad picking. I am back to 500 again, so that's the key. So, Tom Cotter, who says he follows the NFL religiously. I couldn't have been more thrilled when you told me. It's hard to find comics that do, so I love when I can find them. We are starting with Thursday night, which is just a kind of a stupid game. The Minnesota Vikings against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were able to beat Baltimore somehow, some way.
That was a pick I got wrong last week. I thought the Ravens would win that.
I don't know
easily.
if you
I
were
was wrong.
listening to what I was saying before you came on. That was my best bet of the week. I was positive you always, when Pittsburgh plays Baltimore, you always take the points because it always comes down to 3 points. And if you're getting 4, it's an easy one.
Well, you win. I lost. But this one's easy. I'll take the Steelers over the Vikings on this one.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was going to say it was easy because I was thinking about taking the Vikings.
Well, you go right ahead. I'm taking the Steelers.
What's your thought process? Why?
Well, I think they're coming off a great win. That was such and Ben is a future Hall of Famer. He's phenomenal. This running back they got now is just a beast. His name escapes me. And I just think they're on the upswing. I think we're going to have to worry about them after a few more games here. I think they're comers.
I disagree.
Okay.
And I think that Pittsburgh winning and Minnesota losing, because Minnesota
got its ass kicked.
They didn't get their ass kicked. They lost at the last minute to the Lions, right?
Oh, yeah, right. But it was the Lions. That's my point. Yeah, the Lions. It was their first win of the season. That's. I mean, if you're the only team to lose to the Lions, I don't have a lot of faith in you.
I agree, but the Vikings are that kind of team that does bounce back. They win 1 or 2, then they lose 1, and then they lose. So I'm going to take the 3 points at home. They're going to be pissed off that, and Ben's not playing the way he's supposed to be playing. Mike, what do you think?
I think Steelers as well. I think they're just playing different.
You're going to, just because of the 1 week, You're going to all go with the Steelers. What is the chat room picking, Mike?
Steelers so far.
Steelers.
Yeah,
so
one is
far.
trending up, the other is trending down, I think. I liked the Vikings when they were the Purple People Eaters, but that was 3 decades ago. So what are you going to do?
Yes, it was. But I actually made the Vikings my key pick in the football poll. That's how confident I was, although I do like a lot of other games. This is a really tough one. The Dallas Cowboys, they were like, they're going to go great. They're playing amazing. And then I don't know what the hell's happened. This is going to be a great game, actually, because I don't know what the Washington football team's coming out of nowhere. They're doing unbelievable stuff. They keep squeaking through games. So you want to take that +4, but I keep feeling the Cowboys are going to come back at some point, but I don't think I can do it. I think I got to take the Washington Football Club.
That's
what about you?
Yeah, well, NFC East is always, kind of a crapshoot because they hate each other so much, the teams. But it's in Washington. That makes me think that it's going to be tougher for the Cowboys. But I'm with the people who thought the Cowboys could go all the way in the beginning of the season. I think they've underperformed. I think Ezekiel's going to get his act together. I think Cooper's an unbelievable wide receiver. I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know. I really want to, but they've been really letting me down. I mean, they beat the Saints last week in New Orleans on a Thursday, but they've had a lot of rest too, which is nice. So I don't know. Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Dallas.
It's probably the right move. Is everybody picking the Cowboys too? No, I saw Marcy was picking Washington. What's the consensus?
Cowboys overall.
Okay.
I would root for them if they change their name back to the Redskins, but they won't. So I'm sticking with that.
Well, I'm wondering what day they're going to have to change the Cowboys name, because actually Bob Costas asked Jerry Jones on his show, do you think down the road you're going to have to change the name? And he's like, no, we'll never change that. Of course, he can say that he's going to die in 5 years. It won't matter. But I don't know. Can't you see that coming somehow?
They're going to be called next year. Mark my words. You heard it here on Dave Juskow's football show. They will be called the Cow non-binary people.
Right, exactly right.
Yeah,
if
you can't have a gender assigned. So
if you have the Washington football,
the cow, the cow them, he said. That's
right.
perfect.
Oh my God.
The cow days.
Anything goes. Yeah, you keep saying you've been betting the Lions all year long. Is that true, or you keep talking about the Lions? Do you live in Detroit?
Who are you talking to?
They go with somebody in the chat room.
Oh,
anything
good.
goes. All right, let's go on. He'll get back to us in a second.
Next one's easy.
Titans, you're going?
Absolutely. Any team with the word tit in it, I got to go vote that one. And they're a beastly team. I can't believe the Patriots beat them, to be honest. I bet against my Patriots because I thought the Titans would beat us. So the Titans are a great team.
They are a great team. They're a better team, obviously, with Derrick Henry.
Is he going to be back? When's he back?
No, I think he's out for the season.
No, come on. He'll be back at the end, won't he?
I don't know.
Wow, they are a completely different team without him, though. No question.
Yeah, but they're playing the Jaguars. I always think that the Jaguars will get it together, but I'm picking the Titans too. I don't see how you can take the Jaguars. I won't fall for that again as they did it last week, especially on the road from Los Angeles and now to Tennessee. I mean, I don't know what they're going back home. They're going back. I don't know. Mike, what do you think?
Titans. I just think Jacksonville sucks.
We're all betting against Jacksonville. That's what's happening here.
That was a great.
And the Titans are due for a nice blowout win. So is everybody taking the Titans there?
And it's at Tennessee. There's no way the Jaguars win that game.
Yeah, Mike, the chat room is taking it.
Yes, sir.
Titans too. Oh, so anything goes. You are from Detroit. Okay. Home of Ted Nugent, Kid Rock, and St. Clown Posse, Kiss. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever known anybody from Detroit. Although I think, what is that? Dave Landau. I think he's from there. He was from there.
John Heffron, another comic out of Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Oh yeah, he won Last Comic Standing, like season 3 or something like that.
Oh,
funny guy, nice guy.
Didn't he win? Oh, he won season 3. That was the one Rachel was on. Maybe it was season 4.
Maybe season 4. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that guy. Okay. Oh, this is a tough one. The Texans suck, and the Seahawks somehow beat the 49ers at home. So I don't know. Mike, you want to go first on this one?
I think Seahawks. I mean, Houston.
a
Again,
lot of
not to repeat
points.
myself, but Houston sucks.
They do suck that much, right? But Seattle, oh, it's hard to pick them. Seattle's not great either. Tom, what do you think?
My sensibility says to take Seattle, but because it's in Houston and because they're coming off of a big win over San Francisco, I think they're due for a letdown. I'm going to go. This is against my better judgment, but I'm going Texans on this one.
Yeah, you know what? I think I got to go Texans too, and I hate myself for picking a team that couldn't score a point last week. But Seattle, is the question is at beating San Francisco, does that mean they're back? Or does that mean they just did okay that week? It's hard to tell. Is Russell Wilson back? Or I hate betting the Texans, but I'm going to take it.
Who's the beast on Seattle's team is that Metcalf guy. He is just a ridiculous species of human
really
being.
don't like taking the Texans. Gosh. What is the chat room saying?
Seahawks.
They are saying Seahawks, yeah.
The smart money's on the Seahawks, but I'm not smart.
So the Raiders could have won this week, and I thought they were going to against Washington. They scored on a late field goal, and the Raiders, I really thought they were going to win that game. I'm going to say Kansas City might be crawling back. It is a divisional game. They always have trouble with the Raiders, but I think the Raiders are a bit of a mess. I think I'm going to take the 10 points, 9.5 points. I'm going to take Kansas City.
Me too. I'm going to take it because Arrowhead's a tough place for any team to play. I think they're coming back. I think they've underperformed so far.
Yeah.
Great coaching, obviously, arguably the best quarterback playing right now in Mahomes. So you got to go with them. I think.
I don't know if
I would love the Raiders to beat them, but I'm not an idiot, so I will not.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of that, was it Sunday night game? Yeah, they got flexed. Denver got flexed, and Denver sucked. So the question is, does Denver just suck? The Raiders aren't bad, and they beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. It is a tough one. Mike, what do you think?
Those points are scary, but I do think Kansas City's going to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like we're picking where we don't want to take the points, but we're afraid to pick the other team. What's the chat room saying?
They're saying Chiefs right now.
I saw one says Raiders win big. Baruch says that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would love to see that, but I doubt it.
Chiefs across the board. All right, there's no question. I am taking the Saints. I would not put money on it. What I do, Tom, is I pick against the Jets, and then it's a lovely surprise if they win. I'll take the loss here.
I get it.
Win.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Saints also on this one.
Now the Saints have lost 5 in a row.
But the Saints beat my Patriots, so I fear them.
Oh, early on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they had what's his face was playing, right? From Florida State. I can't think of his name, but he got hurt. And now I don't even know why I'm taking the Saints, because when they were playing it was the Cowboys last week. Taysom Hill, he sucked. He sucked.
He's either great or he blows. There's no middle ground with him.
It was so bad. So Mike, what do you think?
Oof, I have a hard time ever picking the Jets.
Didn't you pick the Jets last week? And
I regret it. I'm gonna just go with Saints.
I told you not to be stupid, you moron. And the chat room, I see Marcy picking the Jets hilariously, but what is everybody else picking?
They're going Jets.
They're going Jets. All right, I like it. Thank you, chat room. Thank you very much. Taking a chance on my team. Maybe there's a way Zach Wilson can put it together. Here is a really shitbag game. There's always one a week.
This is it.
You don't even, like when you're watching the scores, you don't even look at that one. It's you forget. Like I remember the last time the Falcons played, it wasn't last week when they played Tampa Bay. The week before they're playing somebody, it was such a bad game. Maybe Miami. I didn't even look at that score. I was like, I forgot they were playing. This is such a bad game. Panthers stink. The Falcons stink more. Tom, you have to go first. I can't decide.
Panthers.
You knew right away.
Yeah, they're home. They're home. I'm just giving them the home advantage.
Cam Newton should be playing. He is playing, right? I mean, he started that first game just like with the Patriots. When he started that, like the first when he started the Patriots, he was great, and then he just went boom right downhill. I don't know. The Falcons score points. They sometimes, you know what? I'm going to take the Falcons. I hate myself. +3. Maybe they'll lose by 1. Mike, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Panthers.
And the chat room is saying Panthers too, I see.
Correct.
Oh, so what I did here, Tom, is I put out the spreads like after tonight. I see the opening lines for next week. And sometimes I'll put, when I see a movement like this, I put it in red. So this line started out with the Ravens -1. And after the loss and after Cleveland, now it's Cleveland -2.5. It's a big jump, big swing. Nobody trusts the Ravens anymore. They keep winning by a little. And you saw what happened when they played the Browns last week or 2 weeks ago. And the Browns aren't good. And Baker Mayfield's injured. This is a tough one too. And again, one of those Steelers-Ravens-like games. I don't know. Mike, you want to go first on this one?
I'm going to go Browns.
Tom, what do you think?
You know, I went to college in Ohio, and we didn't have cable, so you had to either like the Bengals or the Browns. And it was the time of Bernie Kosar. I became a closet Browns fan. I just loved the heinous uniforms of brown and burnt orange. And I think normally I would vote for them just because I want them to win this game because I don't like the Ravens. But the Ravens are going to have a snapback game. They got humiliated by the Steelers. They're going to come back, and they're going to win this. My prediction. Ravens.
So you're taking the Ravens.
Taking the Ravens. My heart says Browns. My brain says Ravens.
You know what? Oh, shit. The question is, damn it. You know what? Your theory is really good. You know what? I'm going to take that too. I like that. And you're getting plus points with the Ravens.
Yeah.
I like it. What does the audience say?
They're going Browns.
They're going Browns. Well, we know Marcy's going. Well, she likes the Bengals, so I was surprised if she picked the Browns because that would be the rival team.
Have you seen the video of the Factory of Sadness? I'm sure you've seen that.
No, what's that?
Google it sometime. It's a guy, it's a Browns season ticket holder standing outside the season, and he's ranting, and he calls the stadium a Factory of Sadness, and he goes off, and it's the funniest 1 minute of just fan rejection of their team you'll ever see. It's really
Wait,
fun.
you're saying that's not the Jets, that's the Browns you're talking about? Because you could have been talking about either one. So
Yeah, I know. Well, or my Patriots in the 70s and 80s. But yeah, it's really good. You got to see it. Just Google Factory of Sadness after the show and see if I'm wrong.
I love Marcy puts Browns wins help Bengals. Okay, smart. I knew she had a method to her madness being a Bengals fan. So look, I did the same thing here. Chargers at the beginning of the week were favored -7.5, which is still a big spread. Now it's -10.5.
It's a lot of points.
Because Daniel Jones isn't playing. I don't see how that makes a difference. And the Chargers, again, they're like the Vikings. They are a strange team. Sometimes they lose to the strangest teams, and then they have a blowout against the Bengals last week, right? It was so strange. But yeah, I'm gonna unless this what's his name, Mike Glennon or Tom Glenn. Well, I don't know what his name is. If he has a Mike White style game, I'm taking the Chargers at home to beat them by 20. Tom, what do you think?
I'm going to follow suit. Yeah, this is easy for me. The Chargers are.
I mean, what if this backup has one of those games? I mean, well, that's the thing. You can't bet on that, right? The Chargers they're great sometimes. It's weird when and that Justin Herbert is terrific. He's really, really the real deal.
He really is good. And Keenan Allen, is that their wide receiver? I think is a beast.
No, you're thinking of Keenan Thompson. He's terrific.
Yeah.
The guy from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, he's great. No, I think it's Keenan Allen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think
doesn't matter. Yeah,
you're not thinking of Keenan Wynn. Ed Wynn's son. Well, I thought maybe that'd be nothing. All right. I'm bringing up Keenan Wynn during Christmas time because he plays the Winter Warlock on the Santa Claus is Coming to Town. You're welcome, America. I don't know. I pulled that out of my ass. Mike, what do you think?
Oh, Chargers.
You love the Chargers. Baruch, you're crazy. Barkley gives the Giants a win. You're insane. I wouldn't even, if you were the only one here, I would say, no, I'm not. That will never be the thing. What else are they saying, Mike?
They're saying Chargers.
All right. Come on, Baruch. Be real. Barkley sucks. They just need to get rid of him, just like Odell. He's just a distraction. I'm sorry. Oh, God. All right. Speaking of shitbag games, I thought there was only one. Holy shit. The Broncos were awful on Sunday after getting flexed. You get the opportunity, just like that Mike White. He has this unbelievable game. Everybody's like, oh, Mike White's the guy. He's the savior. He's the Joe Namath. And then he sucks it. You get your chance. You got your chance on national television, Broncos. You blew it. The Lions coming off a win. I can't take that 8 points. I'm taking the Lions plus the points. I don't think they're going to win, but I got to take the points, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see them win, but I don't see it happening. I'm going to go with the Broncos. Put that right there. That's perfect. Yeah, they're in Mile High, right? I mean, it's their home.
They are. They are.
So it's going to be the Broncos.
Mike, what do you think?
Whew.
It's tough.
Yeah. I'm going to go Lions. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're going to keep it close.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm thinking I actually like this pick. I don't have a problem picking the Lions like I would picking the Jaguars minus the plus 8.5. Not just because they came off a win. First of all, the Lions have been close in every game. I don't think they've gotten blown out. So they were due for a win. They were so close every time. They keep losing by one. Just the way they won last week, they keep losing that way. So I love the Lions in this one. What is the chat room saying?
Broncos.
I'm sorry, anything goes. They're all against you. He wants to, of course, pick the Lions. I don't know. Should I pick for him? He's been really good today.
We've done it for Marcy before.
We do it for Marcy. You know what? Anything goes. I'm going to pick your Lions. I'm gonna give you a break here and hope that you pull it off. Because here we go. Here are Marcy's Bengals against, coming off a loss, San Francisco, who's technically bringing it. As you can see, I made the line change from where the Bengals were favored by minus 2.5. Now they are underdogs plus 1 because they got trampled by the Chargers last week, and the 49ers just lost. They didn't lose badly, but they lost. This is a really tough one with two good teams. This is not a shitbag game. This is a good game that I guess maybe it's at even 4:00. I don't know why it's on the bottom there. That usually means it's a late game. So it's a national game, maybe. Although that Bucs-Bills game has to be the national one. Boy, this is a really tough one. Do the Bengals bounce back? Do the 49ers bounce back? I don't know. These are such strange teams. Mike, you want to go first?
I'm going to go. Oof, actually, geez.
See? You were like, yeah, no, I'm already set. No, wait.
I'm going to stick with the 49ers.
Yeah. Thinking that way, too. Of course, I feel bad for Marcy. But, Tom, what do you think?
I think the Bengals are at home, and I just watched the Tiger King. I did not watch the 49er King. So my head's, it's basically a pick 'em, and because they're at home, I'm going to go Bengals.
Damn it. Everybody's got a good point. I feel the 49ers really been sticking it to people, but you know what? I'm going to pick the 49ers. I'm sorry, Marcy. I think they're going to, I don't know. And that's the Bengals losing 2 weeks in a row. I feel horrible.
Garoppolo might be out with period cramps, so I don't know what could happen there. Just saying.
Hey-o!
I'm angry. He left us. So
somebody hates Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Well, you do because you're a Patriots fan, so of course you hate him. Yes, that makes sense. I figured it out. Mike, what's the chat room saying?
Bengals.
Good. Well, of course we were going to give that to Marcy anyway. Okay. Thank you, Marcy. I know, but you're so kind. I always feel bad. All right. Well, this is a really great game. The Buccaneers against the Bills, that was a tough game to play it. But, if you lose when you're windy and it's snowing and the elements, you lose at home, that's not good. And they've been playing very spotty. I'm taking Tom Brady at home in the Bucs -3, a very easy 3. I think they're going to do it. Something's wrong with the Bills. So I think this is actually a very easy pick. Tom, what do you think?
I concur. Yeah, I take Brady at home with Gronk over the Bills. The Bills coming off a very weird game last night.
Really
tough
weird
loss,
game.
but it was a strange game, and I just don't bet against Brady.
Oh, you don't have a problem betting against Brady since he left?
I'm still. They are now my NFC team because it's Gronk and Brady again. So, and you saw last week how lethal that duo still is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny. I guess I'd be the same way. If as long as he moved out of the division, how could you not like? I mean, I technically hate him because he's just ruined things for the Jets and quite frankly any other team. But how can you not like Tom Brady? I mean, the guy. It's like we're watching this unbelievable thing that's never been done. And when they would say he's the greatest of all time, I'd be like, come on, you're just thinking you're in the moment. But when he won the Super Bowl last year, there it is. There it is.
And you think about it, this guy's never had a drunk driving incident. He's never smashed a woman because the woman would probably hit him back and beat him. But regardless, he's a squeaky clean guy, great role model for my 3 sons. And he goes home and sleeps on a mountain of cash every night because his wife makes more money than he does. And she's a supermodel. So how do you not love the guy? You can't. Well, he wins.
Think about this. Bridget Moynihan, had his son and they broke up. And she goes, oh, no. I'm keeping this baby. This is going to be a super son, And he's like, whatever. And he's such a good father to that kid.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's just, you can't root against the guy. I know people do.
Also, and Tom, think about this like that. Mike, I already picked that you're taking the Bucs.
Oh yeah, that's where I was going.
I'm sorry. I guess I just assumed. I don't know why. Well, with this kind of talk, if you were to pick the other team, it would have been embarrassing for all of us. But the other thing about Brady is that you notice after he won the Super Bowl, he got drunk and had fun, it was like this was clearly Belichick's, which is why he had to get out. It was like
he threw the trophy. He threw the trophy.
Isn't that amazing?
To another boat.
He left his father, like his father's like the father of the guy from the Beach Boys. And he finally got out of his father's thumb and he finally got drunk and had a good time celebrating winning the Super Bowl. He got out of the clutches of this Bill Belichick who doesn't let anybody talk or have a good time. What he did to that kid yesterday, where he's like telling him not to throw a pass. He threw 3 passes, which is the lowest anyone's ever done, like since 1972.
Can I just close this out by saying our dog is named Brady, and if you went into the basement of my house, it is a shrine to Tom Brady and to Gronk and Edelman and all the. I have life-size fan things all over the walls downstairs. It's crazy. It's depressing.
I got to meet Edelman and hang out with him. We got high together. It was super fun about 2 weeks ago.
I never said this, but I did a corporate gig in Vail. I was on the same car service, took him back for where I was going because he was a speaker. And he said, we both stopped at the same dispensary. The driver stopped us in Denver at the same dispensary. I'm like, Edelman? So I'm not besmirching him. I'm not saying what happened, but he went into a marijuana dispensary. Now, I doubt he was there buying Tide or liquid.
Right, well, it's legal and he's doesn't play anymore, so it's okay.
He can do whatever the hell, and it's legal in Massachusetts where he played now.
Yeah, he's the best guy, right?
Unbelievable.
Sweet guy. Let alone, I couldn't believe I was sitting. I mean, he was the MVP only 2 years ago.
I know.
He was amazing. Great guy. I've already I tried to get him on the show, but he films Inside the NFL on Tuesdays.
That's him. Sorry, I keep doing this to you, but that's me and my buddy. Yeah.
I would show that picture too.
He's the best. It's scratch and sniff, and the flavor is marijuana. It's good.
Anything goes, says basement shrines rule. Now I want to see that shrine.
I can take it down there.
What is the chat room saying, Mike?
Oh, Tampa.
Yeah. I don't think any of us have any problem across the board. This one, best bet of the week, Green Bay minus 12.5. Chicago stinks. I don't care whether it's that idiot from the Bengals or whoever. Green Bay, he loves beating up on the division. I'm all in on this one. What about you, Tom?
You know what? It is the black and blue division, and they play each other really hard generally. But I just got Rodgers is so good and
angry.
And 12 isn't that, it's not absurd. It's not an absurd point spread.
Nope.
So I'm going to go Green Bay.
Playing at home, Sunday Night Football. Yeah. I'm surprised actually they didn't actually flex out this game to maybe Tampa Bay or the Bills or something because Chicago stinks so much. But they, Green Bay and Chicago, you can't. It's like Giants Cowboys. You can't flex it out because
Yeah.
you know you're going to get people to watch no matter how bad they are.
True.
Mike.
Oh, Green Bay.
Yeah. And the chat room, I see a Bears.
They're
What else?
split.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's up to me to decide. I'm going to give them the Bears because we like the diversity. And finally, another really great Monday Night Football game after Bills Patriots yesterday, which again, if the weather elements weren't there, that would have been a much better game, I think. But geez, it's actually, you know what? This could be my best bet of the week. The Cardinals, the Rams. Okay, yeah, they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's something wrong with the Rams taking the Cardinals all the way. I got no problems with it, Tom.
I think this is going to be a tight game, and I just can't bet against the Cardinals right now. They're kind of on fire. Or they lead the NFC, do they not? Aren't they in first place in the NFC?
I believe they aren't first. The Packers might be because the Cardinals. No, they kept winning even after Kyler Murray, so I think they are in first place. It's either the Packers or the Cardinals, but they also keep beating people by double digits.
Yeah, they're good.
So you're all in on the Cardinals.
I am all in on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I used to never bet against the Cardinals at home. This year hasn't been a factor. No home teams had a home team field advantage, but I'm going to go in. But Mike, what do you think?
Cardinals.
Go team chat. That's funny. What's everybody picking?
Looks like Cardinals.
Looks like Cardinals. Somebody picked the Rams. Who in there picked the Rams? I can't see.
No, there's only been 2 people so far.
And those are our picks for Week 14, where they play for pay. Thank you, folks.
What depresses me, the line under that shows me the teams that have the bye week, and we're playing the Colts coming out of the bye. It looks like they have the bye also. I thought they were going to have to play this week, and we were going to get a little rest to play them because they're tough.
Tom, let me tell you something about the bye, and we have to go, but I don't understand how there was a bye during Thanksgiving where the Chiefs didn't play, and all the buys should be over by Thanksgiving. This is stupid.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
It's an unfair advantage for the Patriots who are kicking ass to have a bye this late in the season.
Well, I mean, but they also had week after week of, 300-pound guys slamming into each other. I think they deserve a little break.
Like unfair. Look, you're still sticking up for the Patriots. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right. Tom Cotter, everybody. He will be. Where else are you going to be? I know January 7th in Jim
Rehab. I'm on a princess cruise this week because my career is on fire, and because I've mailed it in. And then Valentine's Day I'm in Mohegan Sun. You should come see that with the wife. That'll be fun. And I don't know. There's a bunch of crap in between. My website is tomcotter.com, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter and all those things. And let's do this because I love my country.
You just need the sparklers in the background. Everybody will be okay. Tom Cotter, everybody, thank you so much for doing the show and taking time out of your busy schedule.
I have nothing better to do, and I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, David.
All right. Tom Cotter, everybody. We got to call it a day very shortly, so let me just explain to you. First of all, it's been great. I'd like to thank, hell, Mr. Lord Thunder Crotch, sir. So let me just tell you, next week, we have Mark Norman and Tom Takar joining us, 2 people who have never been on this form of show before. So I'm very excited about that. Mark Norman is an unbelievable comic, so that should be fun. That could change. Who knows? He's a very busy man. I can't believe he was able to do it. And the week after that, we have my friend Paul Lauren. He's going to play a little Vince Giraldi on the keyboards, maybe a little Billy Joel, little seasonal stuff. And Alex Sulkin will be made up from last time. And then we were going to end the year with Bonnie McFarlane and Scott Aukerman, the director of Between Two Ferns and many other from Comedy Bang Bang, I believe it's called. And so we have a really great schedule for you in the coming weeks. It's going to be super awesome. So definitely stay tuned for that. Everybody have a wonderful week. And I'm just really looking forward. This is a great season. I love all of you in the chat room. Thank you so much for being so kind and staying with us for 2 hours. So we will see you next time on the Comedy Cellar Football Show. Good night, everybody.